Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. So this video is being done because of a comment that someone made. So as you guys know, as I've said, I'm a little bit older. I'm in the US, so we're going to think of this as the Casey Kasem collection here. You know, he was a disc jockey that used to do top 40 countdowns and so forth, and you know, had this wonderful radio voice, so here we go. So this dedication goes out to Chris Disco, who asked me to look through the resource exchange and look at the minerals. So here we go, boys and girls. Anyway, terrible impression, but yeah, Chris Disco had asked a while ago, and honestly, sir, I feel real bad because I saw you literally just asked a little bit more this morning. You're gently prodding me to get this done because I think this request came in 5 days ago, and so I'm actually doing everything I can to get this video done, put together, and out there off cycle, because otherwise it'd be waiting, you know, another 3-4 days before it showed up. So here we go. So on the resource exchange, you know, we've been able to work with products from the farm, which is what I normally do. But what Chris noticed was he saw this minerals below come up and was asking what minerals are available. So here we go. Let's just look through the list. Arsenopyrite, barite, I'm probably going to get some of these wrong. Bauxite, bismuth, cadmium, cassiterite, celestite. Again, I don't know if all of these are real or some of these are made up, because you know, I had chemistry, but some of these things I've never heard of. But anyway, chromium, clay, coal, cobalt, copper, diamond. Scroll up a little bit. Diatomite, feldspar, fluorspar, gold, graphite, gravel, gypsum, indium, iodine, iron. Oops. Lead, lime, lithium, manganese, magnesium, mica, nickel, niobium, peat, perlite, phosphate, potash, pumice, salt, sand, silver, staurolite, sulfur, talc, tantalum, tellurium, titanium, trona, tungsten, uranium, vanadium, vermiculite, wollastonite, wolfenite, zeolite, zinc, zirconium. And then just to give people a view, if you're working with timber, there's some timber here that can be done as well. So as you can see, a lot of minerals are available. So, you know, if you go to the warehouses, you know, as far as selling minerals, you know, you can go ahead and purchase them. So you could put in a buy order to buy some minerals from someone. So like on our server, you can see someone's selling some wolfenite for $34,377 per thousand, and they've got 17 units of that. So you know, they could go ahead and buy that at that rate, and you know, and then go ahead and sell from that. And you work with these just the same way. So you'll scroll down, and that list is the same here. So let's say I wanted to see iodine, and what it goes for on my server, 16,926. You know, and again, these are all thousands. So if I just go back to the main resource exchange, you can also, sometimes this doesn't work as well as I'd like, but let me view market info, say for graphite. So here you can see across the various regions what graphite goes for. So this is actually not insanely expensive like some of those minerals were. And again, graphite I know goes into pencils and so forth, but let's look at iodine like we were looking at. So you can see that 16,000 on our servers actually kind of low. It runs up into the upper 10,000s, with one server, actually over 20,000. So you'd go ahead and work with that. Now, I decided, I don't just want to give Chris a list of what can be done on the resource exchange, because I know there's more to it, but I will be upfront and offer this disclaimer that, again, I do not participate in the meta on this side at all, but I did some digging around on our Discord channel on the mining section of Entreprenauts, and we've got some great pinned messages that I'm going to take you through. We're back in October. Someone went through and gave information of how exactly this works. So, as they've labeled this is mining for the visual learner. So the first thing you need to obtain is a mine, and then you need an excavator, a waste dump truck, and a pay dirt truck. And the waste dump truck is generating waste, and you can move it around, I assume, with a bulldozer. And then pay dirt, which I assume is the material you're getting. You use a wheel loader to put it in a processor in hopper. Then you use the processor out of the hopper. Again, use that wheel loader where it's ready to ship. Take that wheel loader, put it in a semi-truck, and ka-ching, you can make the money by dealing with it on the resource exchange. And then I'm assuming Chris Disco asked this to see if he might be interested in participating in this part of the FSN network, which again is split off in its own group called Entreprenauts. So if you're just interested on the meta side, you don't have to apply to join FSN per se. You can apply to join Entreprenauts directly. So there's some basic formulas for those who plan to get into mining. So there's terms you need to understand. PDH, which is pay dirt hours per day. It's the number of hours approximately that you are on pay dirt. Any hours that are not PDH, you are moving and excavating waste materials. There's a base modifier, or BM, the chance of getting a cubic meter of pay dirt versus a cubic meter of waste material while on a pay dirt cycle. If it has a 0.8% modifier, you have a 80% chance to scoop pay dirt, 20% chance to scoop waste. So similar to the way I use the resource exchange, where the sales happen randomly, most of the meta runs with some sort of algorithms that determine what happens. So over time, I'm imagining, and again, I'm only imagining because I've never done this, mainly because there's a lot involved in getting going, as we'll see here, and I just haven't chosen to spend money there because it takes a lot. But the algorithms will go through, and after some period of time, you're going to get a result based on this calculation here. If it's a 0.8%, you're going to get 80% chance of getting something valuable versus getting waste. That's going to create material that you then have to move around per the chart up here that we went over. So CPH, cycles per hour. How many times your excavator can complete a cycle in an hour, modified by skill level over time. Just like with trucks, I imagine you can upgrade your equipment. That would be strange if you could not. Excavating capacity, how much dirt you can move. So, you can see here, I just happen to notice this on the side, which seems to maybe be related to that, is mine equipment size per acre. So, depending on what type of equipment you're using, it tells you how much you're going to move, I guess, in a given time. But they're answering, the biggest bucket size allowed for a wheel loader on a 10-acre mine. So you can see there's a lot of things into it. And then EC, excavating capacity, how much dirt you can move. So in the most basic sense, you're taking the base modifier, multiplying it by your cycles per hour, and then by your excavating capacity, and then taking that result and multiplying it that way by pay dirt per hour to give you daily pay dirt potential. And again, if anybody knows orders of operations, because these are all multipliers, you actually don't need the parentheses to do anything, because it doesn't change the way the math would be done, but it makes it a little more obvious that these three really go into that item to determine what you do. So this potential is only possible if you're also ensuring that you have other ratios such as dump trucks, wheel loaders, dozers, and processors in a proper amount to your excavating. The most efficient site is the one that is ensuring it always has equipment working and never has too much excess material laying in any one area or waiting on other equipment. So here is Mining 101. I believe this is the last post here that gives us some information. So hopefully, Chris Disco, this gives you something to get started with. So basic setup for mining, aside from having a mine, which you have to purchase as well, which you can do through options in Entreprenauts, you'll need an excavator, a wheel loader, one for area prep, one bulldozer, one for area prep, 2 dump trucks, one for pay dirt, one for waste, one for area prep, and 1 processor. And then a mine operation, so line 1 you're going to do waste dirt, line 2 you're going to do pay dirt, then 3 is going to be waiting processing, line 4 is processed, line 5 is ready to ship. And then I think to work those areas, you need for line 1 and 2, so waste and pay dirt, you need an excavator digging, a dump truck hauling pay dirt, and a dump truck hauling waste. So once again, even I can, even an old dog can be taught. So as we saw here, here's the excavator, the waste, dump truck, pay dirt. So you're taking that from the mine, and you basically need that based on the fact that you're on this modifier, you're going to get pay dirt sometime and you're going to get waste. So if, and then sticking with him talking about being efficient, you don't just want to say, hey, all I care about is pay dirt because that's all that makes me money. I'll just let the waste pile up. I'm assuming at some point you're then unable to continue excavating because you've got too much waste or something. So you need both of those running together. And then for line 3, a wheel loader, loading processor. For line 4, you need a processor processing. For line 5, you need a wheel loader clearing the processor. So I assume these might be 2 different. No, I guess it just says 1 wheel loader around the area prep. So yeah, I think it can do both sides of this. And then for line 6, into a semi to deliver, you need a semi on site with a hopper trailer plus a wheel loader loading trucks. And once again, you could do what I'm doing in logistics and own some semis and use your own trucks to move things from your mine. And I assume that would be cheaper than paying someone else to do it for you. But of course, there's the cost of the semis and getting them, and you have to move them to the right location, yada, yada, yada. So mine pile sizes per acre. So here exactly what I said. You can get 300 cubic meters in waste and 200 cubic meters of pay dirt. So I'm assuming once you get to this 300 cubic meters, your excavator probably stops digging because it's like, well, I might create waste and I've got nowhere to put it. And then the processing hopper will do 120 square meters. In the pile that's processed on the other side, you can have 100 square meters. So I'm guessing there may be some stuff thrown out, and maybe it doesn't have you process or deal with that because you're already dealing with waste on this end. And then awaiting the shipment, you can store up to 500 square meters. And then the mining equipment size, let's see, is this exactly what they have here? Ta-da! So I'm assuming this person just went over here and posted it, and it's not the same one. That's what I was looking at. So per acre of land, I'm assuming, and these are per acre too. I guess I didn't notice that. And usually what I've seen, because you can buy land and use it for various purposes, you can go ahead and go between 1 to 5 acre plots. So, you can do things a lot larger. So here, note, you can technically move 10 pieces of equipment that will fit within the max size threshold. But that doesn't mean all 10 can work the mine at once. So this either something to avoid or do in limited amounts, such as a spare in the event of a breakdown. How do I get my semi to my mine and get my ore to market? So you put the trailer and the semi in the city of the mine. So just like Baku is our city for my resource exchange warehouse, it sounds like in mining, you're going to have land, and I know enough to be dangerous there, so maybe we'll take a look at that next. You'll assign a driver to the semi. I know how to do that. You guys have seen me do that. You attach the trailer, you send it to the mine. So while it's in the city of the mine, you have to send it to the mine as another trip, it looks like. You'll then fill it with resources. You'll ship to the warehouse. You'll place a sell order. So this is what we were doing in resource exchange with crops. And so you'd be doing what I started the video with of, send it to whatever warehouse you want. And then you're going to place a sell order based on what that market will bear, and then profit, hopefully. Obviously, it's not guaranteed. And again, there's a whole Discord group that, chats all the time. They're creating new equipment for it all the time, just like they are in all the areas of the meta. So here's some new equipment that was introduced a little while ago. And, I know nothing about mining, so I don't know exactly what that is. But so if you go here, I think the global market is a place you can do it. But here you can see this is how you buy things in Meta. So, if I go to land, within land, you're going to then see where the land is, how large it is. So here, we have 8 acres, so I guess we can go larger than 5. And then its use. So, and I think you can filter, yes. Oh, but that's just by countries. So, undeveloped land. And then you can obviously buy land from other people. So I'm trying to see if mines are their own group. I don't think they are, because I think we see something else. So I'm assuming they'd be industrial. And maybe someone will see this and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments and let you guys know how I've messed things up. So let's see, production materials. All right, and again, there's a lot of pieces of meta, so these don't all have to do with mining. Yeah, I may be totally looking in the wrong area. But if I look at vehicles, land, so there's a wood shipper, which would obviously be for lumber. But here you can see, I think this is an excavator, or a wheel loader actually, probably. And then an excavator here, so you can see how much it costs per day to run, how many horsepower it is, and I'm sure these things all play into it. And basically, you've got a price if you're buying these new, and then you would just say wherever your mine is, that's where you want it delivered. And maybe this is a bulldozer, or this is a bulldozer, and a bulldozer looks different normally. And so there you go. You know, we've got trucks. Those I'm familiar with. That's a bulldozer. I know that for sure. But as you can see, a new bulldozer will cost you $2.2 million. I don't have $2.2 million. So I can't even buy a vehicle, let alone all the other stuff that's required. Whoops. I don't know why it timed out here. Oh, they might be doing maintenance. Not sure. Let me recycle this again. Yeah, it's possible they're doing maintenance. It is a Friday, and a lot of times they do that. So I'm not sure that I would have done anything else other than fumble around and try to find things out. I was basically going to go to land and see how much land costs, but you basically get the idea. Now again, you can generate, as you saw, 16,000, 20,000 per 1,000 liters. You know, versus where I'm selling crops at the top end at, you know, 1,100 for my hemp for 1,000 liters. You know, what I don't know is how long it would take you to get 1,000 liters of those materials. But hopefully, at least for Chris, who specifically asked for some information, and hopefully I've given you more information than you've asked for. And, you know, you can come here and get involved. So as I said, this does let me close this off nicely. Or if you are just interested in getting going in the meta, you can just go to new register here, and then it will, you know, give you the ability to do things. So, you know, as you can see on the site here, you know, raw resource mining, harvesting, you know, is what we're talking about today specifically. But, you know, we've got semi-logistics, there's construction companies, aerospace, other industries, and basically, you know, what phase they're at. You know, where obviously we move from kind of the concept to the left here. And so, you know, you can see we've got 15,000 mines going on. You know, there's a lot more trucks going on, which is the only thing I'm really involved in. But, again, hopefully that helps. Feel free to ask any questions, make any comments. Again, I do try to read them. I again apologize, Chris, for taking so long to get this out. But, you know, it was something I was not that familiar with, and I also wanted to, you know, fit it in amongst what else I needed to do. So this morning I had some time, and I was planning on working on it, certainly now or this weekend. And then saw your comment that just came in literally a couple hours ago and said, you know what, I'm going to get off my keister and I am going to get this together and get it to Chris. So there you go, and I'll see you next time.